flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Continue to take roll, please.
Councilmember White. Here. Councilmember Cook.
Here.
Councilmember Fairley.
Here.
Councilmember Osborne. Here. Councilmember Thomas.
Here. In presentation tonight, just going to do a first quarter financial report.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Good evening, Council. Here is your first quarter 2025 finance report. In your packets, you'll see first quarter fund totals and the budget position. I'll go over any significant variances for the first 3 months, and if you have any questions along the way, feel free to stop me. All right, so starting with fund totals, this is showing our cash balance in each fund. The important thing to look for is variation from our bank account ending balance and the fund ending balance, and they do match up. But before I go to the account balances, I wanted to talk about the general fund ending balance. Do not be alarmed. This is a negative 202 because we had 2024 expenses that the grant funding hasn't come in yet. And so it has that negative balance. We're going to get it this year, and it'll be an actual picture of what our fund totals will be. So as soon as we get that in, we expect probably June, July to get the first round for the wetland reserve, and that'll be a large amount. All right. You'll see something similar with streets. It's showing 16,000. It's higher for the Ellington project. Once we get the funding done back in for that, it'll be a better representation. All right, here are our account totals. You'll see that we did need to withdraw some funds from LGIP. We had to cover our annual costs this first quarter for our insurance, a new records management system, and our finance system, plus the last payment for phase 1 and 2 of the wetland reserve. So we had some big invoices to pay this first quarter. This week, I will be stopping at the bank and putting $350,000 back in. Any questions about any of those? Okay. All right, going into the budget position, here's our general fund revenues. Typically, we'd like to see 25% or more coming in. Let's see. We're at 17.9% in total budgeted revenues for first quarter. We do have $1 million grant for King County Parks for the wetland reserve. You'll see that in the state generated revenues, it's at 8.6%. That $1 million is kind of skewing that. We are right on track with our regular state generated revenues, so all the tax revenue we've been getting in. It's pretty average for first quarter. Is there any questions about revenues? Okay. Moving on to expenses. General fund expenditures for first quarter, we'd like to see 25% used so far. Right now, the total is at 30%. I do the same spiel every first quarter. We get all of our annual payments coming out in the first quarter. This year is the first year I did all of our interfund transfers right away, so there's no confusion. That's why you see the bottom, I'm kind of skipping ahead of my presentation, but the bottom there, the interfund transfers is 100%. I did all that ahead of time. I did all of the equipment replacement fund transfers from each department already, so that's another 100% out of each department category. That's already been completed. So finance line is at 39% and central services is at 69%. Again, this includes our annual insurance premium payment and charges for our IT transition. Looking back, I already said this, typically it's the hardest hit quarter, first quarter. Law enforcement, same annual costs coming in. So we have the transition for the RMS system, the one-time cost for the transition for IT. We should be done with the transition piece. There was some issues with like INET with the county, and we should be done with all that now. It should just be standard costs moving forward for IT. We also had our Luxpol subscription come out this first quarter. The other line I want to point out is environmental services. Our animal control costs come out of this line. Prices went up for 2025. I think a little more than what we were expecting, so we will most likely bring this up in a budget amendment to get that adjusted for what we should be expecting the rest of the year.
Just how come jail costs are at 0? Am I looking at the wrong one?
Detective inspections. Detective inspections.
Oh,
Yeah, jail
sorry,
costs.
I apologize.
Street fund, did you have any questions? Okay. Alright, so looking at the street fund next, everything is looking right on track. We will see the revenue and expenses come through for the Ellington overlay for the TIB project. We did have some costs in 2024, but the rest of the project and the revenue is coming in this year. It should have been done last year, as you all know, but as of this week, it's getting complete. Moving on to storm. We do have the annual NPDS subscription cost in first quarter, and Public Works has been hitting the ground running, working on Cherry Park and cleaning catch basins and doing their thing. So with that, we're going to water maintenance. It is looking great. Our utilities always do very well, and we're excited to see we're only at 19.5% for expenditures. Would like to see that revenue up a little bit. And same with sewers. Sewers doing great. And other than that, there's your budget position totals. Is there any questions?
I got one
Yes.
question on your cash accounts.
Uh-huh.
I know we went from Umpqua Bank to Lafayette Bank, and I know we had to carry a balance in the Umpqua Bank. How long is that gonna go for before we're fully integrated into Lafayette?
I just this last week sent the last emails. We only have King County, real estate taxes coming into that account and Department of Commerce. So all of our grant funds are going in there. As soon as I get the confirmation that that's transferred to the new account, I'm hoping by the end of this month it's all good. Yeah.
Any questions? Anybody have any questions? Anybody in the audience have any questions?
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
A motion and a second to approve the agenda. Is there any questions? All in favor say aye. Opposed say nay. Pass.
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Are there any questions? Everybody get a chance to look through that? All in favor say aye. Opposed say nay. Reports? Mr. White?
Yes, I attended the fishing derby and it was very interesting, a lot of fun for all the kids. And I'm also going to be attending the PIC meeting this Wednesday from 7 to 9. If anybody's got any inputs.
Thank you, Mr. White. Mr. Cook?
I went to the fishing derby too. I took my granddaughter, so I wasn't helping, but it looked like things went really well. Appreciate everybody getting that fully. And there's a lot of people there, so I think that was fun. Saw Mr. White, the mayor, and some of our police staff and others, so thank you very much.
Thank you. Councilmember Fairley?
No reports. I didn't get to go to the fishing derby because I had to work.
Councilmember Osborne?
I have nothing tonight.
Thank you. Councilmember Thomas?
possibilities. However, I do have one comment. I know the interurban trail improvements through First Avenue is still under warranty. We're losing a lot of thermoplastic out there. And I was just wondering if we could have that kind of swept up so we make it okay for bike riders to cross through there. I don't want to say safely, I just want to say we can ask them to get it cleaned up. I know they're going to come in and do the repairs again, but if we can get it swept up, that'd be great. I mean, it's pretty bad.
John?
Thank you. If anybody wants to see, have a copy of the report that I have it available here as well. Cherry Park is the first one. All the tree removal and stump removal is complete. And we'll be looking at the next step, be fencing around there and landscaping. So there'll be, should be concluded in the next day or two with the landscaping on that part. We've got a meeting set up this Wednesday with City of Auburn regarding a flood task force. So hopefully we can work with City of Auburn and reduce some of the flooding issues. Streetlights, we're still waiting for insurance estimate for the vandalism that has occurred. We'll have that this week, and then we'll file that with the insurance company. The Public Works guys cleaned 200 catch basins, and so that's we finished our requirements for 2025. Water main breaks, we've had a couple of them in the last couple of weeks. On the bottom picture there, you can see the one that occurred on Friday. It was caused some damage to a couple of vehicles, broken windshield on the house. The water purchase, we're looking at potential financing options with the Department of Health and Public Works Board. Hopefully we'll hear something from them this end of this week. We should be getting our bids this Thursday for the sewer CCTVing on that. The water meter upgrade, we've received the price, and that's in the agenda here coming up. It's approximately $100,000, and that'll allow us to read all the meters from City Hall. The three of our guys are going to do their pesticide exam tomorrow. As you are aware, Ellingston overlay will be is started today, and it'll be complete by Thursday or Friday of this week. And we're also doing some noxious weed control along the roadway. Fishing derby, I was not able to attend either. There was over 300 fish in the tank, and almost all but about 20 of them were caught. Our Public Works employees, Lester and Joe, were responsible for looking after setting it up and taking it down. And Gary was the event organizer and looked after the entire fishing experience. There was a couple big fish that they threw in there, and so that was quite fun for them. We're starting on the rate study, just finalizing the contract for that before water, sewer, and storm. Flood control plan should be before you on the last council meeting in June. Gray and Osborne will have it wrapped up. Street sweeping will start on May 22nd. It'll go for approximately 1 week. We'll be doing some vegetation controls along the Chicago ditch on 167 along there. Sorry, not the Chicago ditch, along the 167 ditch. We'll be doing more storm drain jetting, finalizing enhanced maintenance plan, striping, and review of the asbestos cement water lines. Those are the ones that have been blowing on us. The pressure is pretty high here. And then we'll be putting forward the transportation improvement plan later in this agenda. If you have any questions.
Any reason why those, we had those water mains, Brett? Is it something that's like gonna happen all the time, or was it just happenstance?
This last one that broke had already 2 patches on it, and it just blew along one of the patches. And we had another one, but it was just a service line today, for example. The lines are pretty old here, and we need to, do a replacement on especially this asbestos cement lines.
Yeah, a lot of times that the pipe itself is pretty weak. It's the earth that holds it together. So if you make an uneven surface, it tends to want to break as well. So.
Thank you. That's all I have.
It's also part of our five-year plan. Spend $15 million to replace water and sewer lines. So, they're quite expensive. Jessica?
Alright, so we had a recycling event recently. We had 226 cars come through and 18.4 tons of material. It's a huge success. This next Sunday is Spring Sports Day. This is a joint effort between Algona Pacific, and it'll be here at Magic Park. It's actually a couple of teachers from Alpac putting it on. So, yeah, pretty excited to see how that goes. In June, we have the bike rodeo as well as the Juneteenth celebration. Last week, Dana, Kari, and the mayor in my place went to the Labor Institute put on by AWC. It sounds like they got a lot of good resources and learned a lot. So good to hear that. And then the last thing is our next meeting, just a reminder that it's Tuesday the 27th, the day after Memorial Day. And then that, any questions?
You stole my thunder.
Oh, sorry.
So talk about the labor relationship, it was good. I did attend the fishing derby, it was a lot of fun. And the state was kind enough, when you mentioned bigger fish, state brought us what they call pet fish. And those are fish that they had in the pond that they could actually hand feed. And some of those fish were 2 years old, and they were 2 and 3 pounds. So it was great fun to watch the kids get those on those little poles. And so it took a fair amount of pictures. So we'll get some pictures up on the website. And it was good. I appreciate the whole team being involved and helping out. I think it's just as fun for all of us to be there watching the kids. That's all I have. Audience participation. The City Council encourages public participation during meetings of the City Council and welcomes your comments. This time is set aside for you to speak to the City Council on any issue. The Council ordinarily takes non-agenda matters under advisement before taking action. You are also invited to comment on action items as they are considered during the meeting. Individual speakers will be limited to 3 minutes each in addressing the City Council. When addressing the City Council, please speak clearly and audibly and state your name and address for the record. Right?
Sir, you got anything?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Rick Connell, 340 Milwaukee Boulevard South. Thank you very much. I do have a question to see where we're at with truck signage.
Well, I can tell you, James, the police chief is not here. I know that we have an emphasis on trucks. We've spoken about changing the signings coming into the city.
Yeah, it seems like they're coming more from the park over here off of First and running south on Milwaukee now more than previous. So I did this afternoon see 9 trucks going by in both directions in a pretty short period of time. And then after that cleared, I did see one police officer north and south. But then that was it. And then, I mean, they can't be everywhere. I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not saying that nobody's doing their job. I'm just saying that there's a lot of doggone trucks, and the other neighbors are noticing it too. It's just signage, and I don't know what to do with it. I don't recall any signage down at first, like by the convenience store in the park. I don't know of any signage there. Only the one sign coming in, and I wasn't sure if Pacific was gonna put the sign up ever. Not ever.
No, but, you know, a lot of times when we finally pull guys over, they blame it on their GPS, and, you know, that's unacceptable, and they get ticketed. It's a $1,200 ticket when we stop.
Is it 1,200? I thought it was 1,452.
It's expensive, but I tell you, Rick, is that we're working on it. I see them when I come out of, I live up on 8th Avenue, I see them when I come in. They come in from the north end, they come in from the south end, they come out of Boyne, they come from all over.
Yeah, there's a Boeing pickup truck with a 28-foot trailer, and that one is overweight, but it doesn't look like it probably. It looks like a Ford F-450 with this large, looks like a car hauling trailer.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't suspect that thing does actually weigh probably 14, 20, close to 20.
I can assure you that it is in our intent to do the most we can to get something squared away.
Yeah.
It is, it's not right, and so we're trying to figure it out.
Good. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have anything else, sir?
Not this time. Not at this time. Thank you.
Thanks, Rick. Yes, sir.
Brett Baird, 402 Main Street. Just same thing, just to follow up on the possible timeline for that drain at 4th and Main. Hopefully we'll see what street.
John, you and I talked about, because Dean and I went over there this last fall, and gonna put it, Dean knows where to put it, but we did,
Yeah, we went over it, Dean and I.
okay, when do you have possible timeline, sir?
Probably sometime in June. And that's where the water is pooling up, correct?
Yeah, across
Yeah.
the street there.
Yeah.
Across 4th. And then the other thing I was gonna ask is where to go? Is, how we've had pretty bad water buildup this last year. I mentioned that last year and asked you about that. And you said it was being worked on, or that it was in the works.
Is that about the stormwater buildup?
Is that part of the storm
Yes,
water?
Absolutely.
Where the culverts were filling up with silt and all?
Yes,
Okay.
and that's what he's talking about. We have 714 culverts in town, and we're required by law to clean, was it 200 or 220 a year?
The catch basin's 20%, so it's 140, but we actually did 200, and we're going to be jetting the culvert lines before winter hits.
Is that the one that's like the 167 one that you were talking about, and then you guys have another one that goes south, I think?
Yeah, so the ones, for example, like along 11th, 10th, 9th, 8th, to the Algona ditch, we're going to be focusing on clearing all of those again. Because when we opened 10th, it cleared a number of different streets across the east side of Algona Boulevard as well. So all of that is kind of all connected. And that's why we cleaned out all the catch basins between Algona and 167 ditch. That was our focus at first. And then we'll be jetting everything after that. Now that we've finished the catch basins, we can start focusing on jetting everything before the rainy season starts again. But you're on 4th and Main. I went over that with Dean, and it's definitely on our list, but we were focusing on the catch basins first.
Yeah, no, perfect. But just want to keep asking, that's all.
I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Brett Baird,
How do you?
B-R-E-T B-A-I-R-D.
Okay, got it.
That's it for me, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anything else?
No.
Move on to discussion. Ordinance number 1252-25, amending parking-related Algona municipal codes.
All right, since Chief is out for this one, this is our second touch of this ordinance, and it's a new addition to our parking code. This would formally allow City Council to designate by resolution all or portions of particular public right-of-ways as no parking areas, or to otherwise limit parking within such areas to specific hours. This is just in preparation of Algona Boulevard's new pedestrian bike path. We just want to set the stage, that way the community knows well in advance that this is going in, no parking. And we've been talking about it for almost a year now. This is just a step in that direction. This also, you should see the resolution for this at the next council meeting, so we can get the ball rolling on that.
Yeah, could you include a map
Yep.
of that location as well?
Absolutely, yeah, that'll be part of the resolution.
Any other questions or comments? Move on to King County Get Active, Stay Active grant agreement.
Alright, I apologize, I thought I would have a draft agreement from the county at this point, but this is the second review of this, Get Active, Stay Active grant. Gary would like to use this funding for the bike rodeo coming up, taekwondo classes, sports camps, and potentially doing a color run. I could possibly, but he is gonna do a color run, for the kids along the inter-urban trail. I'm hoping to have the agreement for you at the next meeting. It's the same one we do every year with the county. It's nothing new. He would like to start spending June 1st, so if council's open to it, I should have an agreement ready to go for the next council meeting, for passage.
This sheet's, this is the first review today, that should be the second review.
This should be, I'm sorry, it is the second review.
Haven't seen it yet, so.
If your county may report from last council meeting. If you're not, then this is first review.
Okay. Yeah, I know you had mentioned it, so yeah, I thought it was the second.
Questions on that?
On item C, Law Enforcement Assisted Diversion, which is acronym LEAD Program Agreement.
I'm gonna do a very rough overview of this. You may remember we had the presentation at a workshop from the folks from the LEAD program. This program aims to provide a community-based harm reduction approach to addressing low-level criminal offenses, often related to behavioral health issues and substance use, by diverting individuals away from the traditional criminal justice system and connecting them with comprehensive social services. The program seeks to reduce recidivism, thank you, improve public safety, and support healthier community outcomes. This is in cooperation with the city of Des Moines. They're part of this program as well, so this service would be servicing our city as well as Des Moines. I am not super up to speed with the contract, but Chief will be here for the next meeting. If you have any questions in the meantime, you can always shoot us an email or call, and we can talk through it with you.
Any questions, comments? Item D is the 2025 Transportation Improvement Plan.
The Transportation Improvement Plan has Broadway Boulevard as the project for 2026. It's from Celery to Algona Boulevard. You have a map in front of you that shows in purple there, which would be for 2026. The other items for the next 6 years are outlined in the 6-year STIP program here. Does anybody have any questions? This was produced by Gray & Osborne.
With that being said, it's council's approval on this. If you see something that's higher priority for you, just let us know and we could try to push it to be sooner. But I will say Broadway Boulevard needs some more, so.
Anybody have any questions?
Just wondering when they took First Avenue off the list. I know it was on there last year, the year before that.
I can ask them. Yeah, I'll find out for you.
Yeah, I got a feeling they figured they could do just some repairs, you know, where the bumps are.
Yeah, I wasn't familiar with that.
You guys good? Item E is ordinance number 1253-25, 2025 budget amendment, number 1.
All right. So this is a very brief budget amendment. There are two things that we would like council to review pretty quick. So the first one, we originally budgeted $1 million for phase 3 of the wetlands reserve. The final awarded bid came out to $1,152,000. With this amendment, there's a revenue and expense increase in the general fund by $17,200 to account for the rest of the grant funding available for this project. There's also part of this amendment, the Park Impact Fund would cover the rest of those expenses relating to the project. And that would be $136,000 out of the Park Impact Fund. And that would leave the Park Impact Fund at $153,000. With this amendment, we also included a one-time cost of $100,000 for the new meter reading system, where we'd be able to do meter reads from here in the building. We'd also be able to do shut-offs from the building. Pretty much a live feed of meter reads. So if there's a water leak, we know a lot quicker. Pretty exciting stuff. With that, the average cost would go up $5,500 a year for that equipment use. Do you have anything like that? Oh, I do have one thing. Sorry. Oh, the reason we're pushing this wetland stuff is this is part of the grant funding. We gotta show that we have it budgeted in our budget. And that's the way we're gonna get our revenue reimbursed, or grant reimbursed. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, no, there's about $564,000 that we can claim for a grant, but until this resolution shows that everything is funded, we can't actually obtain that grant. So it'll get us our $560,000 back into our bank account.
Good. Have no new business, no old business, no ordinance and resolutions. Next workshop. We'll work on it and we'll get back to you guys. I'm sure there's something we can go. Anybody have anything for the good of the order?